All right. Hi, Janie. Can you hear us okay?
Hi.
How you doing, Janie? How's it going
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you just fine.
It's going.
We can see you perfectly,
Good.
and we can hear you perfectly. Roman will be back in just a second.
Okay. Okay. Awesome.
Welcome to RioPolitics, everybody. We're talking today. We're going to do early voting. Nothing formal. Talk to some of our candidates and see how it went today. Janie's running for San Benito CISD. For what place number?
Hi. Thank you for having me on your show. I'm running for SBCISD place 7.
Place 7. All right. So this is your first time around. This is your first early voting, days activities that you've had.
Yes.
What do you think? What were your thoughts? What happened? What was your thoughts when you woke up this morning and today's the first day of early voting?
To me, it was really exciting because originally our elections were supposed to be held in April.
Right.
But the current board voted to just have it until November because of the COVID. And
right.
So back then, it seemed like it was going to take forever, right? But yesterday I was thinking, oh my goodness, wow, it's already tomorrow, how exciting. And so I was excited this morning to be out there, and we had a great day today.
Hi, Claudia. Yeah, time flies. I mean, it seems so far away.
Hi, Claudia.
And then all of a sudden it's October, and then all of a sudden it's holy crap. It's Tuesday already.
Exactly.
So you woke up and it was early. Hi, Juan. It was a early voting day.
Hi, Juan.
What did you do this morning? Your step by step. What did you do to prepare, and what did you do first when you left the house?
Yes. So I was like, in my mind, I was thinking, because I used to take a lot of my nieces and nephews on trips. So I was thinking in my mind, like, to pretend you're going on a trip and you have to prepare for this trip, right? So I was thinking, okay, what is it that we need, right? We need food for volunteers, waters, ice chests, ice. We want to make sure that they're happy out there doing their volunteer work for us, the poll watching, the monitoring, helping us out there. And so I had to make sure that I had everything prepared. I prepared a lot of stuff last night. We even took a little speaker so we can play music. And so I was playing some of our American music, like God Bless America and other things to have it kind of patriotic,
awesome. Hey guys, sorry about that. Let me unmute you all.
I was asking her how she started her day.
I apologize. As soon as we went live, I got a phone call from my daughter's school principal, and I'm sorry that was a little more important than you all. Anyway, I'm just kidding. No, I've been waiting for a phone call all day. But what's wonderful about her is that she works it's 7:30 at night right now, and she's still in her office.
That's awesome. Dedication.
Yeah, dedication, exactly.
And I'm not gonna name her because I don't want some people that despise me at BIC to say you don't talk to him because he's not a great guy or something. So how was your day? I apologize. How's everybody doing? God bless you.
Right. God bless you.
I had just asked her. I asked her, what was her first day like? What's the first thing she did when she got up this morning? And she was telling me that she was preparing the little.
What time did you wake up? Did you even sleep last night?
I couldn't sleep. I fell asleep maybe like at 2, and so at 6 o'clock the alarm rings, and so I was preparing all this stuff. As I was telling Manny, preparing all this stuff for our volunteers because we want to take care of them and make sure that they had their little baggie with goodies, with their waters and drinks, Gatorade, because now they're doing curbside, right? So some of the volunteers have to be outside, and so making sure that they stay hydrated. Now with the COVID stuff, got to get them wipes, hand sanitizers. And so it's very different, right? Compared to a normal election. And sunscreen also, okay, in case you got to be outside, right? Getting your sunscreen. We don't want you to get sunburned, right? And so it was exciting preparing. I got a speaker out there too, so I could put some music on. So I put a lot of patriotic music, like God Bless America and so forth. And then people started requesting their own music also. They're like, hey, put some guapangos and put some cumbias, you know.
Yeah. I'm assuming you were in San Benito. How many early voting locations are there in San Benito?
In San Benito, we have 2 early voting locations.
Okay.
So we have the community building on Haywood, and the other one is at Los Indios Community Center. And so I was told that the one at Los Indios was kind of slow today. So I know that at the one in San Benito on Haywood Street, it was very busy in the morning. There were long lines, and the staff there at the polls are taking all the precautions necessary, making sure that we're all safe with the COVID stuff. And so they were making sure that everything was sanitized. And I'm not kidding you. Like, I went in and voted too. And so the pens are sanitized.
What? They've sanitized them? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I have to know about the germophobia stuff, because at some point I'm voting. It is beyond. This is my wildest dreams come true.
Yeah,
as a germaphobe.
isn't it awesome?
So were the workers wearing masks when you went in to go vote?
Everybody that went to vote was wearing their mask. Wow. I didn't see anybody without a mask at all.
Okay.
Yes, the workers were wearing their masks. And you had the social distancing also. You know, stand 6 feet apart inside the building. They asked us also to kind of let people know to stand 6 feet apart, because we were right next to where like the voters were walking.
Well, at least within 100 feet, because you're not allowed to be more than 100 feet.
Yes, we were within 100 feet, so we were right at the 100 feet mark. Yes.
Were there any fights? Anybody
sorry?
arguing? Were there any fights? Any opposing candidate groups going after each other, getting mad, giving each other a hard time, or is everybody in the mood to be happy with one another and kumbaya?
Well, you know, we were all pretty happy. San Benito is a small community, so everybody knows each other, right? So our group gets along with everybody, right? But of course, you have some of those that are interfering with other people. You know, if we're talking to some people, then they kind of interfere, and it's like they talk over our voice, you know, the opponent side and stuff like that. But it doesn't bother us. You know, people by the time they make it out there to the polls already, they already know who they're going to vote for. They already have in mind. And a lot of what we did in our campaign is just put out facts, and that's it. You know, we're not going to be slamming anybody, nothing like that. You know, it's just the facts, and that's it. I mean, we don't have anything against anybody, right? And so we just want to do what's right for the district, and that's it.
Did any other candidates, like for running a Democrat, Republican on the bigger countywide or statewide or whatever, come down to that location and say hi to you all at all? Or it was just primarily school board candidates at your location?
The candidates, well, in our city, we have commissioners also. There's commissioner race. We have the mayor's race as well. So they were out there. They were out there.
Janie, if you know any of those candidates, and let them know about our show. You know, we have some openings. Just get in contact with Manny. I'm sure we can hook them up where we can do a show where, you know, 10, 15 minutes each per candidate or whatever. We'd like to help any candidate who wants to have their voice heard on, I guess, an unbiased area. We're not here to pick any sides unless we know the person, like you, who, you know, I can't vote for you, Janie. I really like everything you stand for. Well, not everything, because I know everything you stand for, but those things. I endorse you. So anybody wants to vote in San Benito, please vote for Janie. She's an awesome person, even though I don't know her all that well, because I've only known you maybe less than a year. You have stood up for your community. You've stood up for what you think is right. You're somebody who goes to meetings. And I think that's vitally important. I mean, I think people who want to run should be engaged, at least in that location, for a little while, understand the process. I think you do. And I think you'll be an excellent person for that. So I endorse you as an individual, even though I can't vote for you. And I do have family, friends that live in San Benito, so I am encouraging them to vote for you.
Thank you.
So please, anybody's watching us in San Benito, if you know anybody in San Benito, please tell them to vote for Janie. She's awesome. She's a great person. Not just because she came on the show, but because I think she stands for the right stuff. Janie, encourage any of the candidates to come on because it's important. I think it's important for them.
Yes.
Janie, how are you sunburned yet? Do you feel like it's coming yet?
I was pretty brave out there, and I was like, towards the end of the day, I was like, you know what, I need to put some sunblock on, because if not, I'll be burning. But I'm okay. I'm surviving. I think my adrenaline was just going out there, and I didn't even feel tired. I was wearing heels most of the day till towards the end of the day. I switched into my sandals, and I was like, you know what? I think it's my adrenaline. Like, I'm just excited. I'm happy, and we're keeping it all positive. We're being hopeful, and we're just trusting in God. I always say I have peace because I know it's all in God's hands. Whatever happens is because that's what God allowed, right? We just do our part. We hit it hard. We campaigned and we prepared for this. And so now it's up to the voters.
Yeah. My 18-year-old daughter was excited to vote for the first time today. God bless America. That's awesome.
Yeah. Cool. So cool.
She's lucky. I'm assuming she's a senior, Nadia. So not every senior gets to vote. I know that my senior year in high school, I wasn't able to vote in the presidential election. I was really mad, but it's because I'm so young and that's me. So I was like, it's okay.
How exciting. Yes, it's exciting. And I saw like a lot of parents take their not a lot, but a few parents took their kids. And it was just so exciting to me because the kids are seeing their parents do this already. And the parents are laying a foundation for them so they can be proud of their country, so they can, exercise their rights, because we don't have this in all other countries, right? And so that's why people love America.
Yeah. What's that second flag? Is that the Libya flag? I think you did the American flag and then did the Libya flag by accident. No, Libya, the Liberia flag, I think. I'm not sure what the second flag, Nadia. I'm just wondering.
Nadia, do you see that on your little comment there? Right.
Yeah, it has the American flag and then another flag. I want to say that might be like the Liberia flag, but I'm not sure. I used to be a big flag
Roman, how do I share this? How do I share it to a group? I forgot.
Facebook. You have Facebook on your phone?
Yes.
Okay, either get on your phone and click on the RioPolitics video stream, and down at the bottom have a share button and share. You can write a post, and that's how you share it to your page. You can share it to your page. You can share it to your group page. I know you have a group page, and I think you even have a like page. You can just share them to all of them if you want to. Okay. That's the only way to do it. But I'll get guys while we let Janie share this feed. If you all voted today, make a comment. Tell us how you voted. How did it go? I want to hear it. That's what today is for. Today is about, Janie, and we're going to have somebody else that's coming to come on at I think about 8 o'clock, Manny's telling me. And I want you all to tell us your experience, what you saw, how you felt, how were the lines, anything you can possibly tell us. Put them in the comments, and we'll talk about anything and everything. It's a hodgepodge kind of a day. This is exciting. We finally get to vote. I can tell from personal experience, I don't envy Janie and every other candidate. This is 3 weeks long, 3 weeks of early voting. It's unheard of. Our governor, in his infinite wisdom, decided to extend early voting a week on his own without consulting the Texas legislature, even though the Texas legislature passed a law that says only 2 weeks for early voting, but he just expanded it because he wanted to. And he claimed that it was because of coronavirus and social distancing. But as you can tell by the many pictures that have been posted online throughout Texas today, there was not a lot of social distancing. There was a lot of long lines to go vote. I know in some locations you were in line for, at least 3 hours, 3.5 hours in order to go vote early voting. These are like what happens on election day. It was going to happen like this regardless if you only had 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But now we have an extra week of early voting, which is going to put a strain on candidates like Janie, who's going to have all this energy for 3 whole weeks. Correct. Mission High School, WG1, WGA. I don't know what that means. What does that mean, Nadia? So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Love the entrance march you played at the beginning. Awesome. Yeah, it was great music. Good job, Manny. You picked something that people like. Lone Star Flag. It is? I've never seen that flag, the Lone Star Flag. I don't ever seen that. I voted today. Sochi, how was that experience? Tell us how you voted. Don't tell us who you voted for unless you want to. Janie, when you voted, did people recognize you when you went in to go vote? Did they want to talk to you as a candidate? And you told them, no, I can't talk to you. I can't politic. Did people recognize
when
you
I went in to vote?
Yes.
When I went in to vote, some nobody was there talking about anything about like our campaign or anything. Like people said hi, and so yeah, we have to tell them that we can't talk, right?
Yeah. No, it's very hard. It's very difficult because you'll be in line and people are like, "Oh, you're on the ballot." Like, I can't talk to you about that. Because you don't want any potentially love your FB profile pick Patriot. Yeah, that was cool. I haven't seen it. So it's like it's very difficult to do. What is since the last time we talked to you, has anything exciting happened in your race that you want to share with us? Either good or bad news, or any disagreements or fights you want to share with us?
Just exciting stuff. We're getting a lot of positive feedback from people, and I hope that it remains like that throughout, and that people do get out and vote for us as well. Take their friends, take their families to vote for us, and encourage them, so we can bring changes to the school district. Positive changes, always working together, doing a needs assessment, finding out what are some of the needs, what's going well, what's not going well, so that way we can work on that. And work on them making some improvements, because just like in any business, there always has to be room for improvement. And that's the goal.
So Ray was at holding signs. Who are you holding signs? And Ray, I hope you were wearing sunscreen. Who are you holding signs for? Did they pay you or did you volunteer? You can make a lot of money holding signs. Just letting you know. You're relatively tall, Ray, so you might be able to be tall to other people. It was curbside at the event center. It took less than 15 minutes. The volunteers wore masks. They asked for RDs and brought our ballots. Simple as that. And were they usually when you put in the ballot, they'll put it inside a little sleeve or something. When you vote curbside, you're actually allowed to have somebody in your car walk with them and make sure that ballot goes into the ballot box. You can assume it's going to go in, but you can do that if somebody in your vehicle would like to do that, to make sure and encourage to make sure your ballot is counted. Because in Hidalgo County, it's all computerized. In Cameron County, it's all optical scan.
It is.
Was the ballot really long for you, Janie? Or when you went to go vote, did you just go immediately vote for you, or did you vote from top to bottom?
Top to bottom, yes.
Okay.
That was important for me to go through it thoroughly. Yeah. And so it was longer than what you normally see.
Okay. Was it, how many spots did they have there at your location when you went to go vote in person? Do you even know how many people voted at that location at the end of the day, or were they not marking?
We didn't get a count. They said that they would give it to us tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't know.
Just so you know, Manny, usually about an hour after the polls close, the Cameron County Elections Department will have a listing of all the number of people that voted. Tomorrow, about 10 or 11 o'clock, you can get the daily count, which is the names of the people that already voted, so you can scratch them off your list, so you don't mail them stuff, you don't contact them, and that's it. Yes, they had a sleeve, and we returned them in the sleeve. Exactly. Yeah, that's what you want to do. And hopefully the person stood away from you and didn't look at you. So guys, so Manny, do me a favor, if you can open up another window on your page, on your other tab, I should say, and go to the Cameron County Elections Department. And at some point you can refresh it every few minutes, and you'll probably see the early vote information. Actually, do you mind putting it on the screen so we can do it together? I'd like to show this to Janie so Janie can know this for future reference if she's interested in knowing where that stuff is at. So if you give us a second, we'll be able to do that. Guys, tell us how it was for voting. I want to know. I'm interested in knowing. So what we'll do is Google Cameron County Elections, click on the home page. That page, we'll click on that. If you scroll down, scroll down, you'll probably go to like results. Where does it say result? There you go, results. Click on that. And so clicking on results will take you, oh wow, cool. Go to the very top, you'll see 2020 general election very there. So click on that, early voting turnout. Click on that. There will be, there's no information available right now, but at some point there will be. So that is where the early vote will be. Daily roster, click on that daily roster thing, Manny.
Okay. Oh, hold on, I lost it here. Here we go. Okay.
Where it says daily roster, it'll give you an Excel, .excel file for you to download. And usually it's about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. That information will be there. But the early vote turnout will be there usually about an hour and a half after the polls close every day. And it's just going to be numbers. So on that page, man, you just keep refreshing that and every few minutes, and that way we can get it. Because who knows? I want to see how many people voted today.
Okay, I'll take it off, but as soon as I get some kind of number, I'll pop it back up there.
Awesome. So How many people did you have with you today holding signs, Janie?
How many people? It was mostly us, the candidates out there holding our signs, and we had a little canopy also.
Are you feeding people? Are you doing a cookout? Are you? I know a lot of people will do that. They will just have a big old cookout. And everybody votes. You give you a chicken plate. They give you a fajita plate or something. Are you doing any of that or no?
Well, in the morning, we saw the long lines, and so it was taking a while for people to vote, and so you could tell the lines weren't moving much. So then we decided, let's go get waters for people, because we didn't want them to get dehydrated, right? So we went to Walmart, bought a big ice chest and waters, Cokes, and so we started offering waters to people, and a lot of people accepted them,
Yeah.
And so even though I told them we just bought them right now, so there's still room temperature, but we got some in the ice chest. When you're on your way out, if you want a cold one, we'll give you a cold one, right? But they were happy that they got some water. Yes, awesome. We got some candies also, and so no, we didn't have barbecue plates or anything like that. I mean, a lot of our funds, they kind of went towards the newspaper ads and our signs and so forth. We're not getting a lot of money, so
okay.
we did what we could.
It's okay, because honestly, I don't like the fajita plate or the chicken plate myself. So yes. How did you vote today, Itza? Let us know if you voted today. How exciting it was to vote. Is there any how your fellow candidates on not your slip, but the people, I saw a picture that you posted with 3 of the other people. Who were the other people that you took a picture with? It was you and I think Rick, but I don't know the other 2 people. Who were they?
The ones where we were holding signs in front of the high school?
No. You posted a picture, something, I think it was a transparency picture. It was a very nice picture. I think it was you here, and then I think it was Rick up behind you, and then there was another gentleman next to Rick, and then a lady in front of him.
4 of us?
Yes.
Okay, actually, those are the other candidates that our colleagues, our other teammates. And so it was Ana Yanes and Ramiro Moreno, Jack Garcia.
You want to talk about them?
And myself, yes. So all of us have a very good background, right? Ana Yanes works in finance, so she knows a lot about money. And Ramiro Moreno works at as a principal at a neighboring school district, and he's been a teacher also, moved up the ranks. Hello, Ms. Cruz. And
congratulations. Thanks for voting. Oh, sorry, I'll interrupt you. I didn't have a chance to go today. My plan is to go on Friday, although my daughter did go vote and took my 5-year-old grandson. I'm proud of her. That's awesome. If you don't mind, I would recommend, if you want to avoid the long lines, a good friend of mine, Derek Ryan, he used to be the data person for the Texas Republican Party, the Republican Party of Texas, a few years ago. And he recommends if you want to avoid long lines and not to slow down, it's probably going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. That's usually the lull. It has like an ebb where it starts off really high and it comes down and it'll pick back up. So he says, if you want to avoid the lines, Claudia, next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday will probably be the best day for you and for anybody who wants to do that.
And in San Benito, the lines were pretty long in the morning, but then at about 12 o'clock, they slowed down a lot from 12 o'clock to about 4 o'clock. Then once employees started getting out at 4 o'clock from the school district, and about 4 o'clock, that's when it started picking up a little bit more. 4:30, that's when it was, the long lines again, 4:30. I mean, I had just gone live and I had shown people that there was a short line, and then all of a sudden in 20-30 minutes, it was long again. And then it slowed down again.
Told them to come. You told them to come gone.
Yes. But the other good news about San Benito is we have 2 voting locations.
Hello? I think we lost you.
Losing you, Janie.
Sorry,
we're getting a bad reception.
Okay, just wait a second.
There you go. You're back with us. You're back.
There you go. Okay.
So I was saying that at Los Indios, there was a very small line. So the people in San Benito can go vote at the community building in San Benito, or they can go to the one at Los Indios. So either one.
Yeah,
That
and
rooster again. I heard that rooster.
Yes.
it's okay. I
Sorry
don't know where
about
he's
that.
at. He just comes and goes. That's all. He has wings and he flies. I know roosters can fly. I'm joking.
He hears
Miss
me
Cruz,
talking and he's
you
like, "Where are you?"
if you like politics, please like our page. And when you like our page, please turn on your live video notifications so you don't miss any of our lives. Because sometimes we go live without announcing it. We just go live. I don't think we're going live tonight, though, right, Brandy? No live tonight. I don't think I can handle another long live. So this will be our only live today. Just for future reference, tomorrow, in a little bit, we're supposed to have somebody who's running for mayor of South Padre Island, Manny. Is that who we're having?
Yeah, he's actually backstage waiting on us.
Oh, okay. Does Janie, if you would like to stay, you're more than welcome to. If not, you're more than welcome to go. I don't know how this was going to work. This was kind of new to me.
Okay.
Like yesterday, we had like 10 minutes a candidate, and we just moved. It was crazy.
Sure.
So Janie, if you want to go, that's fine. But before you go, tell the people here why they should vote for you, how they can help you get elected.
Sure. Okay. Wonderful. So I was a teacher. So I did go through the testing phases that you have to go with your kids with standardized tests. And I know the pressures that, sorry about that. My rooster hadn't seen me all day. So I think he's excited to hear my voice.
I can't even hear him. I can't.
Okay, good. Hopefully other people can't either.
Because that's why.
So yes, I was a teacher, and I know about some of the stressors, some of the pressures that you go through as teachers, but I also know that the impact that we can make as teachers, because we're like that second home for the kids, and we're there to motivate them and get them through no matter what they're going through in life. And so to me, I was very passionate about helping kids be successful. And so that's why I became a counselor, because I said there's more need to a child. I know academics are very important, but there's also that host child, mentally. How do we help children when they're going through obstacles in life, or when they feel that they can't be successful? And so I wanted to know, okay, how do I help these kids, right? So they can be successful in life and overcome. And so I became a counselor. Then I was the director of the counseling program in San Benito as well. And so I managed a $2 million grant. So I have a lot of experience on federal requirements and managing money as well, knowing how to use your money wisely. Because we had done so well, because the counselors that were part of my team had done so well doing counseling and reducing disciplinary referrals, which was part of the grant, that we had to provide counseling services to kids so we can reduce disciplinary referrals. And we reduced them by 66%. And so we saw a lot of successes by using data management. I've worked at different districts, and so I learned in the different districts, data management is very, very important. And so that's how we were able to prove by facts what we were doing and how kids were changing, by tracking those disciplinary referrals and tracking their attendance and so forth. And so that helped out a lot when I was in the district, but I left because I wanted to become an entrepreneur. When you want to get your license as a counselor, you have 10 years where you can use your courses towards your license. And if not, then you have to take your classes again. So at that point, I decided to leave. It was the end of the grant, and I did get offered another job, but I did have to leave. And it was hard for me because I loved working with the kids, right? But I said, you know what, if I don't do it, I'm not going to be able to get my license, or I'm going to have to take classes again. So I didn't want to do that. So I took a year break, and I decided just to work on my license and work at the university part-time, teaching students that were going to become counselors. So I worked with them. So I have a lot of background in the education field, and I consider myself a person of good morals, good values. I care about the employees. I had built relationships with a lot of the employees there managing that grant. I had to deal with a lot of different departments, with administrators, with teachers, communicating with them. Okay, what's going on with this child? Let's see what I can do to help you, or what my counselors can do to help you. And I did a lot of the counseling also. And these were kids that, that might have been suicidal, that they have major behavior problems, that they would beat up other kids or whatever, So I worked with a lot of those kids, and we were able to help them manage their behavior better. And so I have my master's in business. I have my master's in education. I'm working on a doctorate. Also, I put it aside right now for the campaign because I didn't want to overwhelm myself. I know my limits too. but I'll go back to that and keep taking classes as well. And so I care about the kids. I want to make I want to make a difference. I want to be that positive role model that kids need, and as well take care of the staff and employees, because a lot of people are leaving the, people, good hard worker people that followed policies, and they left the district, and so that hurt me also as a community member, because these were good employees, right? And so I want to be able to let the staff know that, hey, we're here for you. We're going to support you. You're doing your job. You care. We're going to be here to support you as much as we can. We're going to hear what you want, hear what you need, and see what we can do for you, and help you out so you can be successful, because we want all our kids to be successful. And all of them. It doesn't matter whether you're special education, whether you're GT, regular ed, it doesn't matter. And be able to provide the funding for the different programs so that no programs get neglected when it comes to kids. We want to be able to make sure that those kids can enjoy their school. If you look at Ivy League schools, I believe that's what they're called. Why are they successful? Because every single child is either in some kind of academic extracurricular activity, whether it's a club, whether it's sports, band, anything like that. Kids are involved. It's not just academic. So we want to give those kids that want to have that opportunity, we want to be able to provide those funds for them also, and not just and use the taxpayer money wisely, and be able to keep jobs here so people don't leave as well. And so students, number one priority, first of all, and we got to take care of the staff so they can keep doing the great job that they can do.
Yeah, I want to say, Janie, I'm exceptionally proud of you, and I think what Xochitl said about you right now is great. I agree with you, Xochitl. She's an awesome candidate, and you can tell that she knows what she's talking about, and that's what we need, not just in where I live in Brownsville. We need in San Benito. We need Harlingen, McAllen, Wesco, Donna, Mercedes, all over the valley. The more we have good, qualified candidates, the best. The easier it'll be for we can root out corruption in our local government. And I think corruption is happening, whether we want to admit it or not. And it'll happen at some point if we continue to have bad candidates get elected. We need to have good candidates to avoid that. And just so you all know, I know we had her on previously. If you want to get more information about Janie, scroll through our videos. You'll be able to see Janie's full hour we had with her. And one of the important things that Janie agreed to is to do transparency in San Benito CISD. Transparency is massively important. And she will fight for public access, public information, having it on this San Benito CISD website. So if you want transparency in San Benito, I think Janie is the perfect candidate. So again, you have my endorsement. I can't vote for you, Janie, but most definitely I want people that live in San Benito to vote for you. God bless you.
Yes, God bless you too. And just to add also, bringing back a voice to the community. We want employees to feel comfortable expressing their thoughts, and letting us know, hey, what can we improve on, right? What do we need to do with the district? And so we want the employees to feel comfortable as well, and the community to be able to voice their opinions, what's good and what's bad. Yeah, that's the only way that we're going to improve.
Janie, make sure you get together with Manny. We can make sure we schedule on again sometime either towards the end of early vote or right before election day. So you can come back and remind us what's going on. Let us know if you see any breaking news that happens. Please let me know, and we can bring you on it so you can tell us what happened. Because I'm genuinely curious what happens in San Benito, because what happens in San Benito is just a microcosm of what could be happening throughout Cameron County, throughout Hidalgo County, Willacy County, even Starr County. So God bless you, Janie. I'll let you go. Work hard, kick butt, okay? Kick butt wherever you're doing.
And I saw what Ms. Cruz wrote on there. San Benito CISD is awesome. Yes, they are. We have incredible staff. We have incredible children.
Please like our page, and turn on your live notifications. We'll see you soon, Janie. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you all. Take care. Thank you.
All right. Manny, who do we have next with us? You're muted. You're muted.
We've got a gentleman from South Padre Island running for mayor of South Padre Island, Mr. Buntin. Is that correct?
How you guys doing?
Cool. And you, it might be the lighting, but you look a little sunburned today. Is it because you've been outside and early voting? Is that why you're a little bit there?
Yes, I just got back from early voting this morning. I went down and voted this morning. It was a great experience. The pollsters was very friendly, and then I took my mom and dad later on, and we did actually the drive-in early voting for them because they're elderly, and both we were voting for our local elections, and then the other elections came down to the car, and both of them, the groups were so friendly. They walked us through the whole process. It made my mom and dad feel really comfortable, actually.
That's really good. And you were wearing a mask, and everybody was wearing a mask, or were you a rebel and not wearing the mask? It's, it's
gonna go there, huh?
Yeah. So Cheetah's
vehicle, and I had my phone in the vehicle, but I had to take it off to give my mom and dad instructions.
It's okay. Sochi is saying, I'm so glad you guys are doing this. Great way to meet candidates and knew exactly who to vote for today because of this show. Awesome. Thanks, Sochi. We appreciate it. Those of you who are coming in, please make sure you like and share this feed, like our page, and subscribe to us on YouTube if you'd like to. Brandy, Buntin, hopefully you're running for candidate of San Benito. We've never had you on the show. Usually we'll have somebody on for a while. So tell us about yourself and why you're running for mayor, the mayoralship of San Benito. I mean, yeah, sorry.
San Benito is about 30 miles away from me, but great little town. We have a great water tower too. I moved down about, my family and I moved here from the Seattle area almost 4 years ago, and we came down to invest on the island. We were looking to get out of crazy liberal Seattle, and we were looking to invest in Texas. My dad is third generation or fourth generation Texan, and he's raised us in some really cool, awesome tourist locations in the world. And we came here and invested, bought a big restaurant, bought an old fixer-up actually, and we have it back in business again. It's looking really good. We have a few companies on the island. The whole family moved here. We love the Rio Grande Valley. We love South Padre Island. It's I tell everybody it's a little jewel that no one knows about.
Let me read. I didn't see Bullet for Teeth's comment. I'm tired of seeing news articles about how school districts are hurting for money while the Texas Lottery Commission makes billions of dollars supposedly used for school. You know what? I don't disagree with you on that. I do not disagree with you on the whole idea of school districts. There are billions and billions of dollars that are supposed to go for school districts, and it's not. But there's going to be hopefully there'll be reform in how school districts are funded in Texas, but that'll be a state legislature thing. What's the restaurant you decided to invest in? How are you affected by the COVID situation, the coronavirus, and the pandemic at South Padre Island? And do you think the local government hurt you in any way, shape, or form, or helped you in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, we invested and bought an old restaurant on the bay side of South Padre Island, and we renamed it to Lobo Del Mar Cafe. And we hosted the big Trumptilla back in June.
Right.
And we had people come in and speak. Keenan Williams for a Trump campaign, and then Sid Miller as well. It was a great success. We had about 125 votes from the restaurant and around 500 people. It went great. We were also shut down for COVID. We took that time actually to do some faceless on our place, and we just took the time to work. That's all we could do. As far as the government, I liked what Trump said in the beginning. It was supposed to be up to local municipalities, judges, and mayors to make the decisions for the smaller, towns and cities. I don't understand a few things that our judge did, Eddie Trevino. I'm a little bit confused. I don't know him personally, but why the beaches were open in South Padre and then their counties were shut down. It doesn't seem like the county and the city were exactly on the same page to me. There's a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
And I'm the person that is, we need to open. We cannot survive another shutdown. There's no way a blue collar family like mine, my wife and I, we can't survive another shutdown. It was a huge hit on us. But we are an open air restaurant, so we can accommodate pretty good, lots of air movement and stuff. But no, it's a little bit confusing. Cameron County was a little confusing to me with what was being said and the news that was going out to the rest of the United States about different things about South Padre. I was like, I don't know if that's really like that. So I do think they need to communicate a little bit better and find out exactly who's in charge and who's making the mandates. And that's the reason I'm running for mayor. I'm running for mayor for transparency and also to be a voice for the citizens that live on South Padre Island.
How big is the population in SPI? I go every once in a while, but
between 2,000 to 3,000 people that live here. Not very big at all. Great community, very diverse community. Like I said, we moved here almost 4 years ago from the Seattle area. Welcomed with open arms. My whole family moved down here. We're 75 strong on the island now. with multiple different businesses and from
That's
doctors to everything moved here.
You're
And,
a regular
love-
politiquero. I mean, and you're very politiquero. You know, you have that. These are my votes, people. I mean, I got you 75 votes. A politiquero in South Texas. If you maybe don't
those
have
aren't
that,
voters.
yeah,
So, no, I'm
Yeah.
just letting you guys. We love the valley. We love the area down here. We love South Padre Island. So excited about this election year. We actually left the Seattle area after we got
just in time. Yeah.
We did. We got very political and voted the way we're supposed to vote, in my opinion. And it wasn't very nice, business friendly. Seattle was in the Seattle area. It wasn't, business friendly, not good for entrepreneurs like we are. And but South Padre Island has been great. We came down and met the local municipalities, the city manager, and their ex-mayor Dennis Stahl. He's amazing. Really welcomed the family in with open arms, entrepreneurship, investors into the community. South Padre Island is completely vested in tourism, and I have 18 years of tourism. My wife and I run companies in Hawaii, and we've been in tourism since Mexico. We had 14 years in Mexico with our companies, so I do know how to speak Spanish, and I fit right in down here really good. But I was actually raised in Alaska. Ketchikan, Alaska is my home. Commercial fisherman and electrical contractor most of my life, and got to travel, live in Mexico, Hawaii, Washington, and now we're here and established in South Padre Island, Texas. And
was there something that happened that you said, you know what, I need to run for mayor. I got to run for mayor. What happened?
Just I really got involved with the politics when I first moved down here because of what happened with the politics in the Pacific Northwest. It was very ugly. I didn't like it because the way we actually voted, we're a Christian conservative family. And we were harassed, terrible harassment going on up there, excuse me. And it was a very blue area we lived in. But, I think even if you live in a blue area.
Another blue area, though.
And say that again?
You came to another blue area. You went because the valley's blue, but not many people know South Padre Island is fairly red. I think purple. Comparably to the rest of the valley. And I say it's red because you all have a constable that's a Republican. And it's been a Republican for that position at 8 years at least. It's the only Republican office holder in Alabama County is there. Heck, in the entire valley, that's not an appointed other than Judge Fonseca, who is appointed to that position. You all have it. So
time until I moved here, when you started investing and stuff, I'm like, oh my goodness, did we just move to a blue area after we left Seattle? I never thought I would say that because my dad's very Texan and we were raised with Texas values our whole entire life in Alaska. And when we moved here, I was like, Dad, you realize that we just moved to, a blue county? And he's like, no way, not Texas. I'm like, yes, sir, it is. And I just wanted to get involved. I've never been in politics before. And I just thought this time it's important. I'm 44 years old and I want to have a voice. I want to have a voice for the residents of this island and the businesses and transparency of government. There's a lot of backwards things that go on that I question constantly. And I think with my background in tourism and starting upstart businesses and entrepreneurship, I think I'll be good for the island. I'm really looking forward to it. And no matter what, we love the island. We're here. We love it, and we're not going anywhere. But I think it's really important to get involved. I got involved with the RNC since I've been down here. That was an exciting during the convention time at the Hilton. That was really fun to go through that. It was a little bit confusing too. And
we won't discuss that here. I don't want to talk about no offense. I don't want to talk about what happened at the island because there was a lot of confusion that happened throughout that state convention.
Happened actually, but yes, I was just making a point.
It was very confusing for a lot of people.
Well, it's a good point to make actually, because we are trying to bring younger people in. And I'm not younger; I'm 44, but bring younger people and get them interested in politics and stuff. And confusion like that runs people away. So
it does. It absolutely does. And
some people want to throw in the towel and knock and stop, but I don't have that attitude. I want to keep going and keep knocking on doors and see what I can actually change one step at a time.
Yeah, you in fact, you all hosted a Trump Tell over the weekend, and you had about how many votes? I've heard various reports. I think Josh was telling us you had about 50, 60 votes at the Trump Tell yesterday.
Yeah, we helped host the first one in June. It was a really big one, and this time everybody was reaching out, and I said I'd be willing to help out as much as I could. We couldn't actually host it at Lobo Del Mar, but everyone showed up there anyway. Everybody.
Yeah, because you all were packed yesterday. No, it was a Sunday.
And this election, we do not hide, and we have friends from both sides, but my family never hides behind the fact that we stand with our president, and we stand with the United States, and we stand for our flag and our national anthem. And every single night at sunset at Lobo Del Mar, we have bagpipes, and we do the national anthem every single night at sunset. And we do not hide behind the fact that we believe this way. And I think more people that start seeing what we're doing is bring them out of the woodworks. Our restaurant's packed with very cool conservative people from the Valley. They're just awesome. And I'm not kidding. If you guys ever show up at sunset and you see all the families that are there, it will bring tears to your eyes. And I hope our president sees what's going on, because there's a huge movement here trying to get him reelected and clean up this government.
Yeah, no, I can see it. I'm a germaphobe and I don't go out in public very much. That's just my life. So you'll probably never see me, but I can only imagine. And it makes me happy to hear that it's happening in places. That's why these Trump parades and these Trump trains have excited me to see people coming out. But as I've encouraged Josh and others that are involved with those parades, it's not going to be parades that are going to win us elections. It's going to be knocking on doors, making phone calls, making the text messages, making sure that your neighbors, your friends, your family knows where you stand, and encourage them to go vote your way, and not in a mean way, in a fighting way, but an informative way. And so I'm wondering, how have you treated in your election, your campaign? What have you done to encourage people to go vote for you in this campaign? I don't even know how many candidates are running for mayor in South Padre Island.
No, and I've done. I made myself very accessible because of what my family and I own down here. The restaurant being open air. I've done double meet and greets on Sunday from 10 to 12 every Sunday, where I make myself available at the restaurant outside on our deck on the water. And then also I do it on Tuesday. I just finished. In fact, I walked in. Josh texted me and says, "Can you do this?" I'm like, "Okay, I still have my."
Yeah, it's fine, dude. It's fine. Today what I had told Manny and Josh is I wanted this week to be candidates who want to come on for a little bit. Tell us what your experiences are voting early, because this is your first time running. It can be exciting. You might not have slept. I don't know. I don't know if you slept last night. You had plans on how you're doing, but it's a smaller election with only 2,000 or 3,000 voters. So I don't know it's going to be how stressful it would be for you. But were there a lot of voters today?
About it. I try to put it all in God's hand and do everything I can to make myself accessible to the voters. That's the one, I want the residents to want me, and because I want to do it, and I'm willing to sacrifice the time to do it. And another thing that we did, other than the double meet and greets, I made myself accessible on the new COVID stuff. It's called Zoom, and every Monday I do a Zoom meeting at 4:30, which is really cool. I love the input it's getting. I think the world is going to change to this more. We actually run our companies in Hawaii like that anyway, so we're used to the satellite links and stuff trying to run our businesses. So it's great. I think the world's going to actually go that way, and I'm determined after I become mayor of South Padre Island to open up those lines of communication and leave it open. So monthly Zoom meeting, and then make myself accessible at you guys been to South Padre Island. We have some of the best restaurants around, and we have a lot of them. And nearly every one of the owners of restaurants I know, they're super cool. And I really think the mayor should be out and about, listening to the public, getting educated on what we need, and then, making the best decisions after that. But I don't think it's one person can figure all this out. And especially coming out of the COVID thing, we have a lot of businesses struggling on the island. Some have not made it, unfortunately, and they're shut down, which I just hate to hear. I hate having empty buildings driving down Padre Boulevard. It's the worst thing you can do for any business. And any business owner that says, they're shut, we're going to get more, they're idiots. Yeah, you need open businesses. Everyone needs to be open. And when people come to the island, they need to know the attitude is that we're a big family. We all fight and bicker, but we all get together in the evening times and have a good time. Our goal is to make the island great and to take care of ourselves. So awesome. Closed businesses don't look good for anyone, and we really need to focus on helping them out as best we can.
Do you have any idea how much the shutdown affected the budget of South Padre Island, the city of South Padre Island?
I looked at some stuff that came out yesterday. I mean, it did definitely affect the city. I mean, from sales tax, definitely. But then we also have, you know, I mean, it has affected. It's went down. The numbers look pretty good actually because of the businesses. I don't know how much the city did, but the businesses, I can only speak for myself. We did a lot of advertising, in-house advertising, to get the customers and people to come back, you know. And I think it's worked. I think it's worked really good, especially for us. We're doing really good. We're keeping our head above the water. We cannot go through another shutdown. That would just be detrimental for a new upstart business. Right. But we're really optimistic, and we're going to keep going.
Sochi is saying, yeah, I agree. It would be nice to see SPI do something with the building where the Club Chaos used to be. I have no idea where that is, Sochi.
A huge eyesore. That, you know, it's a really good question. And they're looking at doing something. I've been watching it for 3.5 years now. I can't wait for them to do something. I've heard different stories. You know how you guys in the valley here, it's really funny, these rumors that go around. It's amazing how fast it travels. And it's not just South Padre Island, because I have friends in San Benito and Harlingen, and they know stuff that's going on here before I even hear of it. So you guys have communication down really good, but we need to make sure the communication that goes around is not idle gossip and it's actually factual. And these kind of debates that you guys have in these live feeds, it's a great idea to meet candidates and find out. The last person that was just speaking, I was like, oh, I just saw her on the ballot, actually. That's really cool. You know, you wouldn't know that otherwise. So the candidates need to get out there, make themselves accessible for the residents to know who and why we're voting for them.
Yeah, it's vitally important that we do this, and this is why we started this. During the Republican National Convention, we decided, you could just do this. And so we've grown very quickly. Today, I think, Manny, we hit 1,000 likes and we're not advertising. We're not paying for Facebook advertising. We have almost 1,200 followers. So, you know, that was just fairly different than likes, which I still don't understand, but whatever. So like our page, we're here pretty much every night at 7:30 doing this. And it's not just going to be about candidates. Once the election ends, we're going to be focusing on various cities and their governments and how they're working for the May elections, but also for the Texas legislature. You said you had Sid Miller. Sid Miller's a good friend of mine. He's awesome. I brought him down when he was running for Texas agriculture, and he ate some of the best tacos he'd ever eaten in his life, he says, in Brownsville. So he kind of owes me tacos, but I told him I'm not eating tacos in Austin. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, one of our friends brought him in, and actually it was really cool hearing him. And it's really neat talking to Sid because he's actually from where my dad's from, close to Stevensville, where no one knows about. And I'm like, well, it's right next to Dublin Dr. Pepper. Everybody knows that. I'm from Alaska, and I know that. So it's really cool being to meet him and knowing a little bit of history where my family all came from in the same area. But on another note, I wanted to add, not because this is the mayor is not partisanship and stuff running on the island, but I tell you what you were saying touch on after the fact is really important, because I tell you what, if we get complacent right now with what's going on in the world in our United States, this is how I always tell my daughter, she's 16 years old, I'm like, the problems in Washington, D.C., I never understood it until about 7 years ago when I started studying politics a little bit. The cancers that grow in the federal level are not in federal level. They start here in our counties and our cities, and on the school boards, it starts in the water, the city councils. That's where cancers start coming in, and it's from not educating our youth. We need to educate the youth, because the cancer starts right there and it grows until the mess they have in Washington. So these little county elections and city elections, they're so vital to our area, especially for the young conservative people trying to raise families here. And it's not time to be complacent at all.
Yeah, no, they matter. Claudia's asking, what's the Civic Center used as now? I remember going to concerts there back in the day. Have no clue. Maybe Mr. Benton will know.
Buntin?
Buntin. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I said, I apologize. Buntin.
I don't know. It's a hard one to pronounce sometimes.
No. I'm sorry. I know of Benton. So.
Any conventions, because of the COVID, a lot of stuff is shut down. That's one thing that South Padre has that, I was amazed when I moved here. We have our police department, our fire department. We have Turtle Inc. We have the birding sanctuary. Now we have alligators, and we have our own convention center. And we're only, a couple square miles. It's amazing. You don't have an excuse of talking to your neighbor. You can just drive over to their house because we all live right next to each other. And yes, we do have a great convention center. I've been to a few conventions and stuff that they've hosted there. Right now, it's completely shut down, and we really need to, get our voices out there about our, for our CVA and the board and stuff, of how they're actually doing advertising. And the advertising for South Padre Island actually affects the valley as well. South Padre Island is very famous and it's a great place, but people are flying into Harlingen and they're going to fly into Brownsville Airport. And, when people fly in, first impressions, especially, Generation Xers, we're at that age now. We're buying, we're investing. We're not in the 80s anymore. This isn't spring break. We are getting smart and we want to do something. And especially with COVID, how it is, we own and operate a very large company in Hawaii. Hawaii is shut down right now completely. We don't know what's going to happen, but people are traveling right now. And the Generation Xers like me, we're looking for investments. We want to buy a home, we want to buy an apartment. So first time impressions are really important. Brownsville, wake up. Harlingen, Benito, Port Isabel, all great areas. I'm there all the time. But there's a lot of stuff that can be done to attract people. There's no reason that people need to make fun of the RGV. This is a beautiful area. We have a lot to offer, but we got to make the image get out there correctly. So whoever you can speak to get that image out there correctly, Americans are out and they're investing. Our real estate market on the island is going crazy. There's a lot of sales going on. People are looking. They're not going to Hawaii right now. I know. I have a company there. They're not traveling. So tell your neighbors to clean up their yards, make our streets clean. Be nice to the tourists coming in, because these people are going to come here and invest and buy and make it great for all of us.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, tourism is a key vital for our area. What's your best dish at your restaurant?
I'm always in trouble because I don't run the restaurant. We have managers. Some of my brothers take care of it, but I'm always in trouble because I never order off our menu. My family's huge. I'm one of 11 children from my mom and dad, and we all like to drink a little wine, maybe eat a little too much, but I never order off the menu. But one of my favorite ones is our Caesar salad. They hand make the Caesar dressing, and they do the grilled salmon. I'm Alaskan. I love salmon.
Yeah, so I love salmon. You have your Caesar salad has grilled salmon. Wow, and now I want to go there.
No, it's not what I was raised on, but it's pretty good. And then we have the moco. That's a Hawaiian dish. I love the hula chicken sandwich and the loco moco. Our menu is very big.
So we got a question from Gloria Tamez. She says, what can be done to alleviate traffic during the busy months? Better yet, what would you do to help?
I just spoke of this the other night on another forum. I have this really cool idea, and I have to get involved with TxDOT a little bit, because Padre Boulevard is actually Highway 100, and it's controlled by TxDOT. But in other places I've lived in, and had the privilege of living, they've installed different various zipper lanes, are called. And I really think that working with TxDOT, and this is also reaching out to locals. We have a lot of cool locals here that don't get asked questions very much, and they have great backgrounds. Not one mayor has this all figured out. There's no way in heck that he can. So it's really cool to get out and ask your constituents what they think and find out who actually lives in your community. We have some really good environmentalists here. We have some really cool scientists. We have multiple different doctors that live on our island. So it's really cool for the mayor to get out, put some round tables together, always give some free margaritas away. That makes people show up and ask some questions. But as far as the traffic on the island, I really would like to experiment and knock on the door and see if it's feasible to use a zipper lane. And so basically it's utilizing, there's 4 lanes of traffic, 2 going south, 2 going north. Utilize the slower lane to make 3 lanes to exit the island on busy weekends, and also the same way to bring them in. Use a cone system for right now with our police department and volunteers, just to make people get off the island easier in the evening time to Highway 100 to go to Brownsville or Harlingen. And working with Port Isabel and the other local municipalities, I really think it would work. It works in Hawaii. It's worked in Mexico, where I've lived. A lot of our local politicians need to get out. It's really neat for them to travel and see what other parts of the world are doing, and start asking questions. Can we bring that here? Are we able to? And that's another reason, having new blood come in. And like I said, my dad's Texan, but I have the right attitude, and having a little insight with tourism, and also being able to live in Mexico 14 years, in Hawaii and Alaska. I have a really good insight of how other tourist locations are ran, and South Padre Island is just waiting to break free. It's not there yet. It's a little bit, it needs to have that resort feel to it. and we can really make it awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited that you were able to come on our show. Thanks, Josh. If you're watching us, for coming on, for introducing us to you, dude. Like you sound like the right attitude, the right conservative attitude, and I'm happy that you're running. So thanks for running, because not a lot of people want to run that don't really know the area. They just don't want to run. They're scared.
Here in the Valley are very, very hard, and the island is really crazy, and especially on social media, it's a blessing for all of us, but it's also an Achilles heel if we don't watch it. And you know, above all, we are supposed to be humans and sweet and nice to each other. We're all, you know, basically related. And the social media thing is, boy, it can be really brutal. Unfortunately, it doesn't hurt me because I'm 10 of 11 children, and I have 4 older sisters. So whatever they can throw at me on social media, like I said, I have older sisters. It really doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah, thick skin. Sharky has
18 years, and you know, and we have a 16-year-old daughter, and I take abuse every day.
Sharky has a question for you. How do you feel about LNG and SpaceX, and do you feel it's hurting our tourism?
Well, I'm a little bit opinionated about this. I have nephews that actually work at SpaceX. It's kind of a neat program. I'm a little bit excited about it. I'm not really a space nut myself. I think we have a lot of problems to deal with on Earth, but it's cool that people have this ambition. It's great.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
That was a great line, dude. That was a great line.
I think we have SpaceX is actually, if it's handled correctly, it's going to bring a really cool tourism to not just South Padre Island. You know, everyone's going to benefit from it if it's managed correctly. Every time they do a launch, I'm excited. And like I said, I'm not a space nut, but I get excited about it. I go and watch it. I'm like, wow, if you're getting me involved, that's pretty cool. LNG, boy, you know, I don't want anything in my backyard. But that being said, we have a president that's trying to make us not relied on foreign oil and stuff. And he's doing his best to do that. So I stand behind him. Even if it's a hard decision, sometimes you got to take one for the team. I don't like it. I don't want it. I'm looking at my condo right now at Port Isabel, and the lights at Port Isabel, and I'll be able to see it from my condo. No, I don't like it. But instead of this endless fight for 3.5 years, I've seen this. They're fighting LNG. So far, I don't think anybody succeeded. And one of my big ideas is we have people we know in the oil industry down here. I was wondering, has any of these towns actually reached out and instead of fighting constantly, saying, okay, if you're coming and we back our president and he's going to do this and that, and it's natural gas and blah, blah, blah. Has anybody actually reached out to them and said, we don't want it, but because you're coming, here's a fruit basket to welcome to our area. And what can we do to work together? I mean, instead of the constant fighting, is it really going to change anything, or are they still going to come? That's the question. And if you're using your local funds and your local time when you're supposed to be actually running a city and fixing our streets and making sure we have drinkable water, you know, we only have one water plant right now, and one is completely down, and they're getting ready to vote on a bond for $28 million. It's raising our taxes.
Right.
Can't we fix that? Are you really going to fight these big, huge oil companies and win? If you are, okay, you probably have a better lawyer than I do. But speaking, you know, pragmatically, I'm like, I don't know if that's going to happen. I would love to reach out to them and say, hey, you're coming. We don't really want you here, but this is what we would like. You know, when you get ready to dredge Brownville Channel, we have a terrible erosion problem. Are we going to be able to get some of that byproduct and sand to re-nourish our beaches and our dune systems? Because these last 2 storms have really wreaked havoc on us. Also, what can you give back to the community? Maybe we can do some kind of a dolphin outreach or some of these beach cleanups. I just had an interview and talked to one of the beach cleanup people here on the island, and she's having a terrible time. They're trying to clean up. In fact, if anybody's out there and knows anybody in Willacy County, she was up 13 miles north, and she says there's so much trash on the beach from the storms, it's going to take backhoes to remove it, and there's piles. SPI beaches are beautiful. Our beach team keeps them really good, in my opinion. The county beaches, they need a lot of work. So why don't the county reach out to LNG instead of giving these huge tax breaks and go, hey, you know what? We need help with the beaches, keeping them clean. We want to keep the tourism going. Let's see what we can do to work together instead of just being a block on everything. And I know I'm going to get a lot of feedback from that and pushback. And like I said, I don't want it, but you know, you fought the law, and the law won. How much are you going to keep fighting instead of going, okay, let's see what we can do together? It's just a different way to look at it. And I'm not sitting here saying that I want LNG and all this stuff in my backyard. But for 3.5 years, it's been fought and no one's doing anything. And I think they're still coming. I'm not very sure. We can ask the commissioners.
Well,
they're coming. But what can they do for us? Hey, welcome. Here's a fruit basket. You know, we need this for our schools. We need this. What kind of training programs can you get for our kids? Ask for something. Maybe they'll give it to us, you know?
So before I ask your question, you know, that's something that I think if you are elected mayor, I would highly recommend you communicate your issues for South Padre Island with my friends over at KURV. And I say that because they're big proponents of LNG, but they're also big proponents, and my friends there understand the growth and power potential of. Oh, sorry. Apparently, I have like a little bug in here that I didn't know.
He's got a rooster. I love this thing. I love it.
It wasn't me. No. Apparently, I didn't realize I had a bug here. I think it's important that we can tell people. KURV. I lost my train of thought. KURV believes that the growth and power potential of our community, including Brownsville, South Padre Island, and it might be the best place to grow in the entire RGV. So I think it's important. Xochitl, your question: what caused the activities of entertainment companies to stop coming a few years back to SBI during spring break, such as Coca-Cola Beach and the concerts?
Well, I don't have that much history. I've only moved here almost 4 years ago. I know that they've lost the biker rally, which is kind of crazy because bikers are a bunch of fun. You know, a lot of people are promoting different venues here. Calgary has their own amphitheater that they use for their venue tax project. It's really going to be cool. But a lot of the stuff was getting ready to get started, and COVID hit, and it kind of messed everything up. As far as I don't know what the effects and why the South Padre. I'm not sure. I don't know. I wasn't here that time, but it has a huge potential. We have a beautiful convention center. They're looking at expanding the convention center, and I like all those ideas. I like quality tourism, and I always say if you make it a great place to live, because remember, I live here. I homeschool my daughter. We live here on the island. If you make it a great, clean place to live, it'll be a great, clean place to visit, and people will love it. And also, if we get along. If residents and even our fellow communities are getting along and we all love each other, it looks like we're having a kumbaya moment, people will see that. People like it. I've been around my whole life with tourism, and happy people and happy residents, people want to come back and they want to be a part. And that's what we want to shoot for. We want people to move to the RGV and to the island and, you know, populate our areas. And we want the younger crowd trying to move in down here. Why not invest? All you can do for the activity, like she was asking, is just, you know, self-promotion. Reach out to your city leaders, ask for the right type of family entertainment. We have a really bad problem of promoting really, in my opinion, bad bands. I don't like, you know, when some of these bands come to town during spring break, I don't like it. I raised my kid, she's 16. And, you know, sometimes we don't go out because certain people are in town, and it gives it a really bad image, and we don't like it. But those same places that are promoting those bad bands and people that I don't want to run my kid, they have the opportunity to bring in good family entertainment. And basically, you know, to the family entities, you want to promote them to come to your area. They're going to spend way more money than any spring break college people. The kids that come down here, they want to invest for their kids. They want to buy a home, a condo. They want to do family quality entertainment that you don't have to fly to Hawaii or go to Miami that's already saturated. We're right here. We need to target advertise. Not just in the Midwest for our winter Texans, but we have a lot of airports around here. Collude with our airports right here, find out which airlines fly in to other different cities. I just got through saying my wife's from Lake Tahoe. We work with travel agencies in Reno, Nevada. That's a very large city. Southwest Airline flies to Reno, Nevada. Southwest Airline flies to McAllen and to Harlingen. But there's no direct flights. There's no promotion in Reno, Nevada. That's South Padre and the Rio Grande Valley's here. We need to start doing targeted advertising, geofencing advertising, and think out of the box and try to get away from this whole huge spring break thing. Everybody's gambling every year to wait, you know, for a month of good money. That's crazy. Right. Spring break's changing. Our company in Hawaii for the last 5 years has been packed during spring break because college kids have more money. They travel to Hawaii. They travel. They do different things. So we should be focusing on the family groups to come to South Padre Island to make better, cleaner family entertainment for a resort area.
No, I agree with you on that. This will be the last question because I know we probably only had 30 minutes, but we've already been for almost 45 minutes.
Have we really? Wow.
Yeah, well, I've had 40 minutes. It's been 8:42. I don't like keeping us too long. That's just my thing. Just my thing. How do you feel about private development expansion into our public beaches?
Get private development.
How do you feel about private development expansion into our public beaches?
Well, I mean, the beaches, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, any kind of development that if the residents are completely behind, it's something that's going to benefit all of us. I don't see any big deal with it. I don't know what that's.
I think what she's referencing is a few years back there was, correct me if I'm wrong, Sharky, but a few years back there was some shenanigans, I guess you would say, where they were trying to make public beaches be given away to private development, and it was no longer going to be public beaches anymore. And there was a big brouhaha.
I don't think I like that at all. You know, in Hawaii, all the beaches are public. You can go to the beaches, and down here, it's really cool. I mean, there's a big debate about, you know, charging for parking on the island and all that stuff. You know, I was raised in a blue collar family in Alaska, and, you know, not everybody has millions of dollars to, you know, get a condo. And a lot of my friends actually in the last couple of years live in the valley, and they come here on the weekend. We respect that they come here and use the public beach as long as they're leaving it clean and respectful of the residents here. I like our public beaches to be public. And, you know, when I walk on the beach a couple times a week, I meet tons of people that are not from the island. And it's good promotion. And I think we should be open. And we should enforce the laws here. You don't litter in our beaches. You keep them clean. And we want you here, but mind the laws when you're here. And for the most part, a lot of people do. We do have a few people that break that. But no, public beaches, it's our beach. It's all of our beach. It's Texas Beach. And it should be open.
Yeah. I agree. That's been happening in Virginia Beach, and it's torpedo tourism. Oh, I did not know that. I've never been to Virginia Beach. Brandy, I appreciate you coming on with us and telling us about your candidacy and your ideas for Stop Pride Island. I hope that you're successful. If Josh likes you, I have to like you. That's just my thing. Josh is
came over the last group. I got to meet him in the parking lot of Sutherland's, and they're doing a Trump, one of these rallies. Not a rally, it was a train, and it was the prayer one. And oh my God, I had to leave that day, and I think I flew to somewhere, I can't remember. But I met him in the parking lot. And I said a prayer for them. I thought it was amazing. Brings tears to my eyes. I love seeing the support our president is getting. I love seeing it down here. It makes my daughter happy, my wife, my mom and dad, we're all happy. We love it. And we went and voted. I just have to say, don't get complacent, anybody. We can change this valley. We can change Cameron County. No problem at all. And I'm really glad that you guys allowed us to live here. We love it. I'm in Brownsville and Harlingen every other day. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. I usually ask this question, my last question. Anybody who comes on, is there anything I didn't ask or we can talk about, or just something you're passionate about that you want to mention? And now's your chance as like kind of a closing thought. Closing
thought is, like I said, get out and vote. Don't be complacent. Get young people involved in this stuff. Let them do the research. Don't swallow everything that's being said to you. Get out and do research. Get your kids, read them magazines at nighttime, do some research on YouTube, and get involved. Just get out and get involved. This is our country, and we need to start acting like it.
I appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much, Brandy, for coming on. If you're in South Powder and you're able to vote, please consider Mr. Buntin on the ballot for mayor. Is there anything you want to report, Manny, before we log off for tonight?
No, not just yet. We just we were curious, hoping to hear more from fans that may have voted, just to see what was going on out there at all different polls throughout the valley.
Yeah, so get your thoughts together for throughout the week. Wednesday, tomorrow, we'll have Jessica G. Gonzalez, who's running for school board in Brownsville for us. Thanks, Sharky, for joining us. Thursday, who do we have? A congressional candidate coming to us. She is running for Congressional District 28. Is that the one that she's running for, Manny? I think it's 28.
Yeah,
it is the seat in the farther west end of the valley. She's running to try to unseat Henry Cuellar, the longtime Democrat incumbent for that area. She will be with us on Thursday. Friday, we'll have a ladies' night and a Fantastic Friday. Saturday, we have some plans, but we'll let you all know that. Just at least you all know what exciting things we're going to be doing, and we may be sprinkling in a late night show here and there. Just don't know when. We'll do real talk real late. So that's been our show for today. Thanks to Janie. Thanks to you, Mr. Buntin. Best of luck. Don't log off when we say goodbye, okay? But this has been Real Politics Live. We don't do the news. We don't make the news. We just help you see it. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
God bless you.
By the way, for Thursday, we didn't mention her name. It's Sandra Witten will be with us.
Sandra Witten. Okay, thanks. I have no. You were supposed to tell me. I have no idea who it is. You're the scheduler, not me. God bless you all. Take care.
Bye, everybody.